we had a structure that was holding us together. And then as that structure started to fall apart, we started to say, I've been going to church for 30 years. It's made no difference. Right. My life still sucks. What did Jesus bring? He hasn't changed anything for me. Because we haven't had a lived experience of a relationship with Jesus that's personal. Right. Pope Benedict had that great line. Huh? What did Jesus bring? He brought God. Jesus brought God into our mess. He's not going to take the mess away. He enters it with us and brings it meaning.
Well, welcome back to Stand Firm Productions. We have a special guest today. I'm gonna apologize right up front because I just got back from a trip and I got sick, so I'm gonna be coughing and hacking.
Maybe you should travel less.
Maybe I should travel more.
That's right. Travel a little less.
I never get vacations. Everybody affectionately referred to me as the vacation director when I was the vocation director, which is stupid, just because I travel a lot. But anyway. We got Bishop Austin Vetter all the way from the Diocese of Helena. Welcome.
Thank you.
To the show. So, I don't know if you guys probably don't know this, but Bishop Vetter taught me in high school. He's a large chunk of the reason, well, Jesus is a large chunk of the reason I'm a priest, but Bishop Vetter's witness was a huge thing for me in high school.
Oh, thank you. I should have failed you when I had the chance.
Probably should have. But he gave me some just very basic. One of the things that I love about you is just everything's very simple. Simple and to the point. When I was thinking about what I was going to do with my life, I said, what should I do? And you just said, pray 3 Hail Marys every night. That's it. That was it. And like 4 years later, I was in the seminary, and 20 years later, I'm a priest sitting here with a bishop.
It can't be rocket science because I'm not a rocket scientist.
Right.
And the truth is one and simple, right? There's the truth of Jesus Christ and his church. That's what I've always loved about the Catholic Church. It's appealing to kids, to those who are uneducated, to scientists, to the smartest artists and creative people in the world. Everyone, right? There's no one that's outside of its reach, and there's no one that it can't inspire. So it's good to be here. I've been a bishop 3.5 years.
3.5 years. One of our own. He's from the Diocese of Bismarck. I was at your ordination out in Helena. So what's the difference? Priesthood.
I was at a school, and the kid asked me, a 15-year-old boy, great question. So what's the difference between being a bishop and a priest for you? It's a good question. I didn't have to think a minute. I said, that's simple. In all my years as a priest, I've never received as much hate mail as I received in 2 years as a bishop. It was incredible. And second, it's the first time in my life that people don't trust me. They don't trust bishops. The abuse stuff is an abomination. And almost worse, it's not worse, but almost worse, is the fact that the bishops knew it and moved priests instead of throwing them into prison where they belonged, right? Where they were supposed to be going. And they just don't trust us now. So I have to rebuild trust somehow. So I tell people, they say, what can we do to help you? I said, if you like me, tell people.
It's that simple.
That's it. Instead of saying bad things about me, say good things if it's true. And the most excited people that I visit, that cry when I show up, that say thank you for not forgetting about us, come back again. I sign Post-it notes for them with my name on it. The prison.
Really?
When I go to the prison, they're thrilled. And they're the only ones. I challenge everyone when I go around parishes, bring someone with you next time when they find out the bishop is coming. Just tell them the guy's crazy. Come see him. You know who actually brings their buddies? Prisoners. They bring someone with. One guy said, well, yeah, they're in prison. They got nothing else to do. I said, maybe more of us have to be in prison if we're actually coming to Jesus Christ that way.
That's your plan for the evangelization. The new evangelization, put everybody in prison, they'll come to Jesus.
No, it's been great, though. I love it. I feel very free, very much encouraged going around. And it's everywhere. We just got to open our eyes, you guys. Open your eyes and see each other. That's the problem. I was in the grocery store watching people go through the line. There's a 17, 18-year-old girl, cute as a button, bolt in her nose, purple hair, tattoos, doing her job. Did you find everything you're looking for? Yes. Head down, she's doing her scanning, and no one's talking to her, and she's not talking to them. And I just get sad. And I get up there, and I look at her, and I said, what's the best day to buy strawberries? She looks up, she goes, what? I said, what's the best day to buy strawberries? Thursday. They bring fruit in on Wednesday. Here, Thursday's the best day. I said, do people bring milk back, the milk carton, and there's only this much left, and it's sour, and they said they want a new carton because it was sour. And they said, yeah, all the time they do it. Well, I said, what do you do? Give them a free one. Otherwise they just nag you. Now her head's up, her chin's up, she's smiling. I'm joking with her. I said, how long have you been working? And, how's school? By the end, I said, you're doing a great job, thank you. She goes, thank you, you have a nice day. And she smiles. And I walk away. If she knows it or not, will admit it or not, you know why she has purple hair, a bolt in her nose, and tattoos? She's screaming to all of us, does anyone see me?
Right.
Does anyone see me? What else do I have to do to be seen? I was up in Conrad, middle of nowhere in Montana, and 7 in the morning filling gas. Another priest, got gas attendants there. He says, 2 priests, I'm going to have a good day. I said, well, I'm a bishop. We'll see how your day goes. And he laughs, and I said, are you from here? He said, no, I'm from Spokane originally. Moved here 18 years ago. And I said, oh, good. He said, yeah, I've been working here the whole time. After we were here, my wife and I, for 6 months, our 6-month-old baby died in crib death. And our marriage couldn't handle it. And I drank. She left me, and she should have. And I drank, and I drank, and I drank. And I woke up one day, and I didn't know how I got home, and I said, I got to stop. I'm going to kill someone and kill myself. So I quit drinking. Then he stopped talking to me. He started to talk to God. He wasn't even looking at me. I don't even know if he was aware of it. He was looking up, and he said, but I'm trying. I'm trying. Every year for Halloween, I buy as much candy as I can, and I try to give more candy than anyone else in honor of my daughter. And then at Christmas, I buy little toys and donate them to this place that give to people who don't have toys for their kids. And then Thanksgiving, I buy a turkey for my neighbor. He's poorer than I am. I'm trying. Look it. There he is, thinking there's no goodness in him. And there's goodness. And I said to him, what religion are you? He said, I don't have any. I said, do you want to be Catholic? He said, would you have me? I said, would we have you? Our church is full of alcoholics. We have alcoholics, we have liars, we have cheaters,
gamblers,
drug users, gamblers, everything. The whole works is there. You would have me. I said, absolutely. That's what scares me. The biggest challenge is that the narrative, society has been made up this narrative now that don't come to the Catholic Church. Whatever you do, don't go to the Catholic Church. There's no place for you there. That's never been the truth. Used to be Catholics. Here comes everyone.
Right.
You don't have to be a certain way to get help from us. We'll help you. We're all a mess. We all need conversion, right? Doesn't matter what your particular sin might be, right? There's 7 deadly ones. You get good at one of them, then we help you with that one, then you pick up another one, and you work on that deadly sin for a while.
Right.
That's all of us. I'm as human as all of you. Same stuff. I need a Savior just as much as you do. So, it's not rocket science. We're walking past people. Right. We're not noticing. This little town, they've been walking past him for 18 years, and no one took time to ask one question a little deeper. I just got my hair cut last week. Looks good.
Does.
Sitting in the barber.
It's a lot grayer.
Got that thing. Yeah, it is. I got that thing wrapped around me, so another guy comes walking, and he doesn't know I'm a bishop or a priest. And he comes in his 80s, and he's not. I knew he wasn't from here, looked like a foreigner. I said, where are you from? He said, Pakistan. I said, really? How did you end up in Montana? He said, I went to Montana State University for civil engineering. And then I fell in love with a girl and stayed. And I worked and put in bridges and all the culverts. So I asked him some questions. How's it in Pakistan now? Well, our house that I grew up in is destroyed. And he's just telling me all this stuff, and we're just having this nice dialogue, a little conversation for 15 minutes. Take the thing off. He goes, oh, you're a priest. I said, actually, I'm the bishop. That's my suit jacket. He said, no one wears suit jackets anymore. That's kind of nice. And we're just laughing. And I'm walking out, and he says, Bishop, I want you to know something. You know, you've learned more about me in 15 minutes than most people in my life know about me. Isn't that sad? I was more joyful, he was more joyful, and so was the barber. Take a little interest instead of just talking about, can you believe it might be Biden running against Trump? You're going to go nuts if that's all we talk about. Go a little deeper. Take a little interest.
All about relationship.
That's it. Otherwise, Jesus isn't a real person to us. We got to relate and learn how to relate. And guess what? Texting doesn't satisfy the human heart. The heart wants way more than a text.
Right. Or a like.
Yeah. I was over in the seminary, working in the seminary, and I get a text from the secretary. And so I thought, well, I better look at it because I was teaching a class. And I look at it, and she says something. And then what are they called? Those little deals.
I don't know, cell phones?
No, what are those, when you put little symbols on it?
Emojis.
Emoji. She sends me an emoji with a wink. And I said to all the students, I said, what do I do? She's winking at me. I haven't been winked at since 3rd grade. Now I'm confused.
Right.
I have some inner struggle going
It's
on.
confusing
Why
emojis.
is she winking at me? Am I supposed to wink back? Don't wink. I said, you guys don't do that stuff. Call. When I get letters or emails, I try to find the phone number, and I call them. It's amazing. They just say, who's this? I said, Bishop Vetter. You sent me a letter. Oh, yeah. I didn't expect you to call. After 10 minutes, the whole issue is solved, almost always.
Right.
Go more personal.
Didn't you do that with one of the seminarians, right? When he wanted to join, he was dating that girl, and then you ended up sitting down with the girl?
Yeah. Actually, had a great visit. I'm doing their wedding in July.
It's crazy.
Doing their wedding in July. It's amazing. You know, I give my cell phone number out. And one bishop said to me, you're crazy. They're going to. I said, no, I'll just delete people. If I don't want to answer it, delete off. Harassing me about stuff. But if you're not harassing me and you really have an interest in what's going on, and you have a question for me, why can't they have access to their bishop?
Right.
When I got named bishop, the nuncio, Archbishop Pierre, the Pope's representative in Washington, D.C., he could tell I was nervous before he left, and he said, be yourself. If you're going to try to be someone you're not, you're going to hate this life. But if you're yourself, you're going to come to love it. And he said, be a missionary. Don't sit behind that desk. Go out and learn how to be a missionary. And I told all of my staff, and they said, okay, yeah, they all nodded. And I said, does anyone know how to be a missionary? Because I don't. I'm a maintainer, trying to fix roofs. And,
right.
No, go out. The heck you doing? Right? Go out. We just have to. I was walking, I was visiting the jail, and I'm coming back. This guy, it's 11 in the morning. He's drinking a beer and smoking a cigarette. Who are you and where are you coming from? I said, I'm the Roman Catholic bishop. I'm your bishop. I'm coming from the prison, from the jail. What the heck? He said, I just got out. I was in for 5 years. We go into the office, and the lady I'm walking with, she says, isn't that sad? Drinking already, and just got out of jail, smoking a cigarette. I looked at her, and I said, have some empathy. If I was in prison for 5 years.
Just got out.
I'd be drinking a beer, smoking a cigarette at 11 a.m.
Right when I got out of the
Right when I got out, I'd be doing the same thing. The other lady, she had all rotted teeth, poor thing. And she told me, Bishop, they took me to the dentist. He didn't care about me at all. He lectured me the whole time about meth. That's what meth does to your teeth. She said, that's all he talked about. He didn't care. She said, this isn't from meth. I've never tried meth in my life. This is from cocaine. Well, I just burst out laughing. I said, why don't you quit? She said, have you ever been addicted to something? I said, yeah, chewing tobacco. She said, it's a lot harder to quit than chewing tobacco. I want to quit. I can't. Finding some way to connect with them, to see them, hear their story a little bit, right? To see them as my sister. Now, when I see them, they're all friendly, you know, and it's great. It's a great thing. It's a great life. It's a great thing to be able, as disciples of Jesus, not just a bishop. All of us need to see each other and take a little more interest in one another's lives, right? We want to all be seen. We want to all be seen.
Pretty simple.
So you didn't have. I don't know why you're sitting there. You didn't ask me a thing.
I didn't. I knew this was going to happen. I'd ask you one question. You'd talk the whole time.
But I'm an extrovert. You can tell.
Yeah. Just one more thing too. So this sticker that you have out and this beer.
Yeah.
Can you just talk a little bit about that? Because I think it's an amazing. I think what we tend to take. First of all, we're not bold enough. It was a bold step to do this. And then second of all, we don't think creatively enough. Yeah. And you have a very creative way to use this as a way to evangelize people.
Well, I didn't come up with it. I hired a new person, Alex Kautsky. She's my family life, pro-life, and evangelization director. And she came to me and said, I think we should do a water bottle sticker. You know, you're reading these books for kids, and they'll know that you didn't forget about them. You know, that I think these kids will actually say, wow, the bishop thought of us. But it's actually been more popular than just the kids. College kids are using it, and people are putting it on their fridge to pray for me. I always start my little videos. I do a video every Friday at Diocese of Helena. You can go check it out if you want. And
free promotion right there.
I always start the kids' books. I read kids' books. I did it during COVID, during the lockdown. I wanted to make sure not to forget about them. And after the lockdown, my mom's getting dementia. At night, she prays her rosary and listens to me read her a book. And then she gets bored once in a while and says, read a new one. So I keep reading them for her. And it's for kids too, but it's mostly for my mom. And I always start the same way. Greetings, kids. Bishop Vetter here. I'm still your bishop. So the water sticker is me giving a thumbs up in my cassock, walking into Carroll College at graduation. That's our college. And the student section started to chant for me, Bishop Vetter. So I turned around and gave him a thumbs up, and it was in the newspaper. So they took that photo, and it says, Bishop Vetter here. I'm still your bishop. And we stick them around all over the place. I'm going to do a new one. You're going to miss me when I'm gone. You know that song? You're going to miss me when... For the people who don't like me, I'm going to stick a little sticker in there that says, you're going to miss me when I'm gone.
That's for the hate mail.
Yeah, that's right.
Just mail that back.
And the other thing she did was a beer. Golden Austin Ale with my face on it. On the back is a QR code that takes you to links to different sites to reach people we're not reaching. And so now the Knights of Columbus, they're going to start selling it. And we'll see. We might get it out there on the shelves.
You're sitting in a bar, you get the can, you scan the QR code, and it takes you where?
Takes you to the Diocese of Helena website for outreach things that we're doing. So, for example,
anything somebody could do.
Yep, we did Trunk or Treat. You know what that is?
No. What is it?
All the cars park in the parking lot. You put candy in the trunks instead of walking around neighborhoods because they're not not lighted up. It's not as safe. You all are in the same parking lot, and you go from trunk to trunk. Trunk or Treat. Said, yeah, let's try it. 1,500 people came. Ran out of candy 3 times. Then we did one for St. Nick. We got reindeer. There's a guy has some reindeer.
Real reindeer.
Real reindeer. 800 people came to see the reindeer with their kids. And then we took them into the church and had some sacred music and hot chocolate. Next time, we'll take them upstairs. So these little outreach things. We did a marriage enrichment. A couple who's been away from the church for 30 years is coming back. Hey, if it saves one soul, you can put my face on any dang water sticker and beer can you want. We're trying to find ways to reach them. We're not reaching them. They're not coming to see us.
Right. So you got to go out.
We got to go out and find ways.
Well, for years, right? You were Catholic. Everybody was Catholic. It was Catholic culture. Everything revolved around the church, and now that is gone. Like, Christendom is gone, right? Not the church, but like that culture is gone, and so we have to go back out and rebuild it.
And you know why it's gone and why it went away pretty fast?
Well,
we didn't have a relationship with the living God. We had a structure that was holding us together. And then as that structure started to fall apart, we started to say, I've been going to church for 30 years. It's made no difference. Right. My life still sucks. What did Jesus bring? He hasn't changed anything for me because we haven't had a lived experience of a relationship with Jesus that's personal. Right. Pope Benedict had that great line. What did Jesus bring? He brought God. Jesus brought God into our mess. He's not going to take the mess away. He enters it with us and brings it meaning, right? Stations of the Cross. I lead them during Lent. We went from 100 people there on Good Friday, 750 people there. You know why? It's not because the bishop's doing it. They hear it, the bishop's doing the stations, and people say, oh yeah, the stations. Do they still do those?
Right.
And they haven't gone for 30 years. That's where I learned how to suffer, you guys, is at the Stations of the Cross. I had a girl came to see me. She's 16 with her mom. And she started to cry. She said, Bishop, I can't be Catholic. I'm not Catholic, and I can't be Catholic anymore. I said, why not? I'm attracted to other girls, so I can't be Catholic. I said, what do you mean you can't be Catholic? Do you have a girlfriend? I said, whoa, settle down. Your hormones are going crazy. It won't be like that in 50 years. And I said, you're as Catholic as I am. But how do I do it? Can I live a chaste life my whole life? I went like this.
What do you think I'm doing?
Come on, celibacy can have real meaning. I challenge you as a priest, all of us. I ask them when I go to parishes, when was the last time they heard a homily on celibacy? They have never heard one. Our Catholic people have never even heard one on celibacy, on what the gift that is to the church. Right? You want to make God mad in the Old Testament? Who do you mess with? Widows, orphans, and aliens.
Right.
So wouldn't it be just like God to call some people to live celibacy so that no one's a widow? Celibacy is not lost. Right? It's not a wasted life. You become a widow overnight. You didn't choose it. It can have meaning. The orphan. Every orphan has a father. And the alien, the immigrant, everyone has a home. They can knock on the church, and there's always a home for everyone. But we don't share our lives. The beauty of it, right? So I told her, come to the Stations of the Cross with your mom. Then you pick out one of your stations. Go around and look at them all and find one that you can identify with. Maybe it's when you're wiping the face of Jesus. Maybe it's under the weight of that cross. Whatever it is, the women around him. And suffer with him. She came, crying like a baby, and hasn't missed Mass since. We have to help.
It's simple.
They don't have to be a particular way first. We're a mess, and it's getting worse and heavier all the time. Our hearts are miserable. So Jesus is the answer. I'm not worried.
Amen to that.
All right.
Well,
anything else?
No, thanks for coming in. And I don't, you may not know this, but your nephew is getting ordained on Monday.
Yeah, I knew that.
Not
I'm
you, them.
Okay.
That's why he's in town and why he agreed to come over. And so,
right.
And his brother. So now I think we have 6 sets of brothers in the Diocese of Bismarck that are priests.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
So
no, and God's still calling. We went from 5 seminarians to 15. I have an ordination coming up here in June.
Is that the first one you've done as a bishop?
Second. Third. I told him, I was at Carroll College. It's a diocesan college. It's our college. Give Carroll a look. It's a good school. I was sitting there during COVID, and we had they had a birthday party for me without me there. And I surprised them and showed up, and because they were my little bubble. I was asking their majors. They're all telling me. I said, none of you mentioned you want to save souls. Why don't we talk about saving souls anymore? None of you want to save souls? I can't believe it. That's the challenge. Right. Challenge our young people that souls are worth saving. And Jesus wants to save them through us as his instruments.
Go out, go deeper, save souls. Keep it simple.
Don't be afraid. Go at it, man.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on. It's
good to be
pleasure
here.
To have you.
And I wish this production crew good luck and a blessing. I told them it's going to fail. And they got some fire in their belly to prove me wrong.
Yeah, we're going to work harder now.
They're going to work harder. So I want to say hello to all the viewers out there. And it just takes one little step. Don't be afraid. Just say to Jesus, Jesus, if you're real, show yourself to me. Show yourself to me in the church that you founded, if it's real. And guess where you're going to end up? In the Roman Catholic Church, close to the heart of Jesus Christ. God bless you.